So, we always say win or lose, or winners or losers, and especially nowadays, when you hear things like you'll get tired of winning, or people calling each other losers, and I have a friend in Texas who says, well, it's not about winning and losing, it's about winning and learning. And I thought, that's right, it's about learning. It's about choosing to notice stuff at the end of the day. What did you learn today? I think we learn lots of things all day long, but because we don't notice, we don't acknowledge, yeah, I learned something today that I didn't know before. This kind of also harkens back to in our early days, those who remember our office on 1848 East 1st Street, and kids would be coming home from Hollenbeck or 2nd Street School on their way to the projects, and they were just a constant feature, and they would come in, and everybody on the staff there, everybody would kind of look at one of the kids and say, quick, what did you learn today that you didn't know before? And they'd always pop out with stuff. I remember Beto, who just graduated to high school here, he said, I learned about the buffalo. We all remember the buffalo. I said, what'd you learn? How they are and what they eat. I said, good for you. And there was another homie named Tony, who I said, what you learn today? And he said, Egypt. That's all he said was Egypt. And to this day, 25 years later, that's his nickname, Egypt. He'll text me, he'll say, hey G, it's me, Egypt. How do these things get born? I don't know. Once a homie 16-year-old gang member came back from school. I said, what you learned today? He said, I learned not to pick on girls. And I said, how'd you learn that? He goes, I got slapped. I go, well, that'll do it every time. Learn something each day and notice what it is that you learned. Notice the thing you didn't know today, that you didn't know yesterday, that you learned today. I did a retreat this weekend with 100 people up north, and there was a homie there who said that when he was little, his father kind of dissolved and kind of kind of abusive violence towards his mom and his brothers and sisters, and was caught up in getting high, and so the mom and the kids, they kind of hid from the father, and they would move from different places until the father would find them. So one day he came home at 11 years old, and the house was empty. Then suddenly his father burst out of the closet and threatened to kill him and just terrified him. So he escaped, and he ran down to kind of a corner gym, kind of youth center, and he calls his mom at work from the payphone and says, he found us. And she said, stay there. And so he comes, and she comes to the gym, and she just throws her arms around him, and the two of them just sob. And he says, that's all I remember, her arms around me tight, and we're both crying. And she keeps saying over and over in my ear, I am so sorry you've had to go through this. Well, years later, prison, gangbanging, selling drugs, getting high, he finally came to terms with his life. He said, that's it for me, I don't want to do this anymore. And he said, so I asked God forgiveness. And I can't remember if he ever said, I forgive you. The only thing I remember is this palpable sense that God had his arms around me, and God was sobbing with me and kept saying over and over again, I'm so sorry you had to go through this. So, I learned something brand new about the nature of forgiveness and the essence of the God we actually have. So decide today to notice what it is that you need to learn, to glean from your own experience this day. At the end of the day, kind of say, yeah, no, there's something I learned that I didn't know before. So it's not about winning or losing, it's about winning and learning.